to the Nerds Against Normality podcast. Pull up a beanbag and enjoy listening along with us. I'm Stacey Bowles and I'm joined by the Woody to my Bo Peep, Harry Bowles.
Hello.
And our Wheezy the Penguin, Ben Sheridan.
All right. Bring up a beanbag. That was the better one, did you?
Right, it's the first thing that came to my mind.
Bring up a beanbag.
That's what happens when you rush me.
I haven't rushed you. We have very specific meetings about this and a PowerPoint.
Ben has been here for 6 hours.
I have?
Yeah.
Oh, but I tell you what.
It feels tragic.
I tell you
much longer.
I tell you what, it feels like 11.
Well,
just down in the mines, podcasting all the time.
so
And I yearn for the light.
we've seen you like 5 minutes ago, so
Yeah, that's true.
don't care what you're up to this week.
It was fun.
I'll tell you what you've been up to. You ate my egg fried rice.
I
poisoned it.
And then we had dinner.
Yeah.
Make of that what you will.
No, so what's the gossip? What's going on? What's in the news? What can we look forward to?
Spill the tea. What has been
Spill
going
the
on in the
tea.
industry this week? What's the gossip? What has been happening?
Ben Affleck and J-Lo.
Yeah, Jafflick.
That it's been rumoured that they've been separated for a while, and they finally announced they're divorcing.
Thank God. I was worrying about that.
I know.
Losing sleep.
I mean, it's rumoured a couple of things. I mean, Ben Affleck is known to be a bit grumpy.
We've all seen the meme. The smoking,
Yeah.
the outside smoking meme.
He's had a bit of a tough time with it. Apparently,
He has.
there
had a
was
bit of substance.
rumours from people that I knew that worked on the Flash that he was. What was that? 3 years ago, something like that. That was the Flash when it was released. Yeah, he was going through quite a tough bit of time then. Again, all allegedly, all superstition.
Yeah.
We can't be sued for this. It's not litigious. We're not
Just
journalists.
assuming.
I am. Ben, I'm
Yeah.
coming for you.
Oh no. Me or Ben
All
Affleck?
Ben's.
Oh, you're going to have to get to Affleck eventually. He's really built.
Yeah, he's up there.
Oh, and he's probably got a few Batman suits.
By the time I get to him, hopefully he's aged.
And apparently, I didn't realise this. J-Lo did a film, like a documentary based on their lives. Did you know about this?
No.
No.
What, Atlas?
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh, he reeled you in there, mate.
Yeah. We've got a big catch today. There we go.
I've no idea what it's called.
Titanfall, the
Titanfall the film.
Yeah.
Just give us Titanfall 3. J-Lo, please.
I've no idea what it was called, but apparently he wasn't a big fan of her releasing, like, details
Intimate
about
parts of
their
his life,
lives. Yeah.
probably, yeah.
So that's sad. And the other big thing that I've been watching is all the kind of gossip surrounding the It Will End With Us? Yeah, It Will End With Us film with Blake Lively in it.
What is this film? My sisters saw this, and they will go and see maybe 2 or 3 films a year in the cinema. That's it. And this was one of them.
Was one of them Deadpool?
Sadly,
It wasn't.
no. I think the last film I actually saw with them was Jurassic World.
The first one.
Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, wow. And
That's
you
probably the only-
didn't go with them to watch this film?
No, I was working. I would have gone,
Yeah.
but what is this film about? I don't know anything about this.
Okay, well,
Sorry,
they were just going to pause just
sorry,
a
the good film
second.
gong's gone off.
Sorry about the cheeky pause there. Our door went, and for a moment we was all afraid it was Ben Affleck going to kick the shit out of me. It was, and I decked.
Thankfully, it was just some local youths.
No.
So,
What was I saying?
what is It All
what
Ends
is
With
It
Us
Will End
about?
So it's based on a book, and the sequel to the book has just come out very conveniently.
It begins with us.
Yes.
We're going through it still.
Yes. Yeah. That's the name of the third one. How did you know?
Indeed. Lucky guess.
And it's essentially about it's kind of a love story about from what I remember, because I read the book a while ago, about a husband and wife, but they're in an abusive relationship. He's kind of domestic violence type situation, and she re-meets a childhood sweetheart, and then falls in love with him.
Hilarity ensues.
But there's been so much drama surrounding the release of the film. So apparently Blake Lively doesn't get on with her husband interest, and they argued about how domestic violence should be portrayed. And then there's been loads of gossip around. I'm going to say it's gossip because I haven't seen it in detail, but about Blake Lively's interviews for the film, and people have been dredging up old interviews she's done for other films in the past, like one with Anna Kendrick, where they were fighting in the middle of this interview, which I did watch, and it was awkward. And allegedly they don't get on. So,
Right.
Which I feel is a shame because I think it detracts from the original.
It's very
film.
funny how many romance films come out. Like The Notebook is a very popular one, which I haven't seen. But The Notebook was... I know, alright, it'll be on the list.
Wow, that is on the list.
I've seen it, don't worry about it.
Alright, fair enough.
I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, you have. I'm glad it was memorable.
I haven't watched The Notebook.
We watched The Notebook.
Nope.
We did.
Nope.
Oh, we did.
I take oath on my grandmother's Reebok classics. We we did not.
Wow.
Yeah, big oath.
What I love. Big timely reference there
Big-
as well.
yeah.
Another big timely reference there. Let's get that bell. It's but things like that it's actually quite funny. Not funny, I guess. It's actually strange how many sort of romantic leads in films don't actually get on with each other. The famous one is Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling in The Notebook. They did not like each other, hated each other.
Yeah.
And they're meant to be portraying like a very loving couple in that, and it's like, oh no, they didn't like each other at all.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy as well. Mad Max.
Yeah.
Not a romance film. Well, it depends how you look at it. Depends if you really love Tom Hardy like I do. But yeah, but I mean, it's
It's a shame. Anyway, I'm sorry. All my gossip is like really bit.
No, but at the end of the day, these people
doom
are.
and gloom.
At the end of the day, these people are still like human as well. Like they, for people who don't know, the press circuit on a film is brutal. It's really brutal. Like it is.
Back
you
to
get
back.
It's private jet after private jet after limousine drive to limousine. Honestly,
okay. For the layman, it's paradise. For the people who are out there, horrible. I cried for them.
Imagine it. Going to a restaurant and having someone else pay for my meal. I don't know where I stand on that.
No, I do that, but I usually deliberately forget my wallet. So
One day we
luckily, I'm pretty fast.
One day we just want to make it on Hot Ones. That's all we ask.
we will never get.
Sean.
We would never get to Hot Ones. Think about it. No podcast has ever gone on Hot Ones.
We could be the first.
Not yet. Oh no, Joe Rogan will probably go on there and say something about vaccines.
We need to get him cancelled so that we can overtake him.
I don't think we need to do anything. We just got to wait for him to do it
gotta
himself.
wait for the inevitable.
We got to wait for the snake to eat its own tail there.
Yeah, okay.
But it's kind of tough. Like people sometimes just don't get on with each other. I've had it in jobs where people don't just clash, and then the camera starts rolling, and then you're meant to immediately be like best mates with that person, or you're meant to like be the best of pals, or like a relationship or something like that. But that's
Why are you looking so intently into my eyes?
because I can't look at Harry. He'll beat me. Anyway, as I was saying,
It's almost like they act like they're friends.
but that's the thing. Like it's acting. I mean, great. We watched Deadpool and Wolverine a few weeks ago.
Oh no, they're the best of friends.
Who?
Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Oh no, they're really good mates.
Oh, don't ruin it.
No, it's him and he was in Deadpool 1 and 2. Tim Miller, I think it was. Plays his mate.
Yeah.
Apparently he's just an absolute dickhead.
Oh really?
So, and that's why he's not in the third one, because he's just like, I don't want him anywhere near me. And also it's Ryan Reynolds, he's apparently a really nice guy. He's like the loveliest guy.
When we've watched him on Wrexham, comes across,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it's filmed that he makes it look like a good guy. But peak players have come out that have left Wrexham and have done interviews, and they're like, what are they really like?
Yeah.
And all of them have gone, he's honestly, what you see is what you get on the screen. He's a nice guy. He knows your name in the locker room. He knows my family's names. He's like, he cares. He's German.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. I wonder whether, because It Will End With Us has come out off the back of Deadpool v Wolverine, where Ryan Reynolds is doing a stunning job at all the press junkets, and I think it's hard for Blake Lively to follow that and then like be judged.
She's got her own career. She has her own career.
No, I know. But
Obviously, out of the husband and wife, one of them is doing better than the other. Sorry, but that is the case. One of them is doing far better. But it's, she has her own career. She's a talented actress in her own right.
Yeah, but I just wonder whether she's being compared.
Where would I know her from? Where would I know her?
Gossip Girl. Remember all those episodes?
Deadpool v
I
Wolverine.
bloody love Gossip Girl.
I know, you're wearing the t-shirt.
Yeah.
He never takes it off.
Yeah, it's weird.
But anyway, that's enough doom and gloom. Tell us about games.
Yes, tell us about Gamescom.
Gamescom. Okay, so...
Don't look at your phone. Tell us about it because you've committed it to memory.
Nope. I'm going to Google it like everyone else. So if you don't like that, skip to Ben's part.
My part now. Just waiting for Harry to Google it. Sorry, lads. Let's just all sit in silence while Harry Googles.
So E3 is dead and buried.
For the most part, yeah.
Oh, it is. It's gone.
But then why would you... Because also, it's been dying for a really long time. I think the pandemic was the death blow.
Nintendo killed it with the Directs. So,
I've always wondered why... Sorry, go on.
But it's just basically, it made more sense for the companies to do their own Direct because it was cheaper, you didn't have to rent anything out, you didn't have to do any fanfare. But it lost some of the magic because it's not as fun going, tune in at 10 p.m. for the Nintendo Direct. And yeah, it's cool, you get to see a lot of games, that's fine. But there was something magical about seeing Shigeru Miyamoto walk out in full tunic with a sword and seeing all the fanboys going, no way! A HD remake, yes,
And it's really sad because we really wanted to go to E3, didn't we? And
that was always one of my big dreams was to go to E3. Apparently, it's a real slog. Apparently, it's just it's like going to a theme park. Right? It's queuing, great. I love queuing and I love paying.
Being British, it's my
that is our
favourite.
Yeah, that is actually our thing.
Brewing tea.
Brexit.
Oh, Brexit. Oh, God.
Speak for yourself.
I fucking love Brexit. But Gamescom is like European E3.
We could go to it.
I looked at the flights.
Gamescom.
It was £18 to fly to where it is.
Germany.
Where is it?
Germany, yeah.
Oh,
it was £18.
I can't get to London
No.
with that. That's insane.
I can't get to Paddock Wood.
Let's go next time.
People don't know where we are, and that is. It's not very far.
It's not very far.
It's a 20-minute drive.
Jesus. God,
Let's not give people the home address.
Tell you what, follow the expensive... follow the expensive tickets.
Hello, is this Stairs Against Normality?
It's Ben Affleck here.
You were download in America. Why did you not choose either on either side of this?
So they do lots of. It's not just games. They sometimes do movie reveals. It's gaming media. So last year, was it the year before? They did some Sonic Movie 2 promotion and stuff like that.
Wait, are you a Sonic fan?
I'm something of a Sonic fan.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. Somewhat of a weeb with it, shall I say?
Could have fooled me.
But stupidly, Sega dropped the big trailer for the Sonic Generations X Shadow. That's a mouthful for you. So Sonic Generation Shadow, whatever you can call it. They dropped that the day before, and it looks really, really good.
Would they drop this trailer before Gamescom, the day before as well? Would they drop it because they didn't want to pay the fees to be in the trailer? Or did they drop it because they didn't want this to be buried in a sea of other trailers? Yeah. I wonder. I wonder if this is a bit of a cheeky move.
I would agree, but I don't think Gamescom did anything that blew anyone away. I think Borderlands 4 was a big reveal, don't get me wrong. I think the Batman was a huge cock tease, and then they slapped VR on it and everyone went, thanks, no thanks. I think the most exciting thing was the Amazon thing. That was the thing that got my juices going. And I'm just scrolling, so don't hate me. It's called Secret Levels trailer.
Secret Level, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's by Amazon.
So it's got a lot of games that are not just the here and now. It's like Fortnite, PUBG, blah, 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 blah. It's like Armored Core, old game, Dungeons and Dragons, classic, Mega Man. I mean, most people probably have heard of Mega Man, but don't really know Mega Man.
Yeah.
He's from
he's an icon.
He's an icon.
Yeah. Very timely reference.
Pac-Man. You know,
Never heard of them.
no. They've got a PlayStation episode, which is a spotlight for various PlayStation vibes.
Yeah, which makes me think it's going to be like. So, because also there were people like Kratos appears in it briefly.
Yeah. So he'll be blatantly in the PlayStation one.
Drake, this all depends on who they've got the licenses from. Who have they got the rights to use? Because you can't just go to. I don't know if you can just go to Sony and say, look, we want to use your PlayStation characters. We'll pay you X amount for the rights.
Or do they have to go to Naughty Dog?
That's the thing. Do you have to go to Naughty Dog? Do you have to go to Santa Monica? Do you have to go to From Software? Do you have to go to every single person? Because this does.
I imagine so. They own the image rights, don't they? I guess
must do. But then again, I imagine Sony and again, we're saying Sony because we know one of the episodes is a PlayStation.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a Microsoft one. I imagine there's going to have to be maybe a Nintendo one, but it depends on Nintendo.
Nintendo will not let that.
No, you don't think so?
No.
They'll sue them.
They literally Wreck-It Ralph. In the opening scene where it's like the bad guy meetings, Nintendo had to sit in, and they were like, Bowser wouldn't hold his cup like that.
Oh, for fuck's
Bowser wouldn't do.
Oh, yeah.
Like they were so particular because of the original Mario movie, where it almost ruined the franchise.
30 years ago. Move on.
Yeah.
Timely reference.
God, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, the newest Mario movie's done okay.
Yeah, it's done fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sit down, Nintendo.
I haven't seen the original, but I'd like to.
If you'd like,
I would like to review that because it's dog shit.
I'll tell you what. If we're going to do that, then we have to watch the Mortal Kombat film.
I like the Mortal Kombat film.
Oh, that's true. No, the Street Fighter film's good as well.
The second Mortal Kombat film.
Terrible. Oh, that's the first one I watched.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And I thought it was really cool.
Another one, which a bit like the Batman, where I was like, oh, it sounds cool. Marvel's Rivals, and you're like, that sounds like it could be interesting. Oh, and it's free to play. For me, that's an instant turn off.
Yeah.
I could not give a shit. Got Fed More Lies by Peter Molyneux. I'm not calling him a liar, but he does lie a lot.
Oh, there's a knock at the door again.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not there. He said he was going to be here.
Yeah. But he lied. So this guy, he created lots of classic games like Black and White. He created Fable. It's probably
That's
his big one.
When he announced Fable, he was like, everything's going to matter, and it's this huge environment. And don't get me wrong, Fable was a good game.
Very good game.
But he promised the world, and he delivered a sliver of it.
Yeah.
So when he's announced Albion, and I'm just like, whatever you say, I just can't trust it. Game that you might be interested in.
Oh, go on.
Lost Records. It's the creators of Life is Strange.
I love Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're solid games.
Yeah.
They are, from a previous podcast, when you were saying about games that are rough around the edges but are still good, they're rough around the edges but are still good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, how are they rough around the edges? The last one was a bit.
As in, like, it's not fluid,
needs
janky controls.
Needs a bit more polish.
Bit polish, yeah, exactly
But
that. I'm not saying they're bad
A
games.
few more hours in the oven.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those games.
You know, they're
I'm
good.
not saying they're bad games.
They're very artsy.
You just need a little bit of polish on them sometimes. They're a little bit janky. Little bit janky.
And then one of the biggest things that got me going, I have to say, was and it's already been announced, but the Monster Hunter Wilds trailer.
That looks good.
It looks good. I'm a massive lover of Phantasy Star Online for the GameCube and the Dreamcast.
Yep.
And Monster Hunter World scratched that itch because Sega just decided to ruin that IP like they love doing. I'm sure it'll be great in another 20 years. But yeah, Monster Hunter World looks amazing. It looks like they've taken the best of World, taken the best of Rise, and kind of melded them. So here's hoping that they can deliver, because they've promised a lot of stuff. They've promised more open world element. They've promised like alphas of the Animal Kingdom and stuff like that. It just looks amazing. It looks stunning.
It's come a very long way from the PSP.
It was a niche
it?
Japanese
Was it?
game.
I remember it so clearly playing Monster Hunter 1 and 2 on the PSP, because that was the PSP game. There was nothing else. That was like, we are putting all of our eggs in this basket. If you don't like it, don't buy a PSP. And thankfully, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, can you play them now? No. There's been too many Life of quality of life improvements and too many gameplay improvements for it to go back, I think.
Okay.
But it was, I mean, it's still going, it's still selling. Like, this franchise is still going.
Lost Hunter World dropped at peak time. It dropped in COVID.
Yeah, that did.
And it was just, they couldn't have asked for a better time. Or maybe it was Iceborne that was in COVID. I can't remember. But all I remember is in COVID, me and the boys were just hooked on it. But other than that, you had Borderlands 4, which wasn't a real trailer, it was just a teaser trailer. Something to do with COD, which sorry, COD lovers, I couldn't give a shit.
Oh yeah, the new Black Ops.
Terrible. And Goat Simulator remastered, which
Yeah,
I'm sure will be fun.
that's what we all need.
Yeah, that's Gamescom.
I'll move on to some film news, and I'm going to do some box office numbers for you, just to see what happened. So, I don't know if you remember, do you remember Coraline?
Yes.
Coraline got a re-release.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know how much money Coraline's made from its re-release?
Not more than the original.
750,000.
Oh, a bit close.
Is it?
No.
Oh, damn. I thought it was going to be really tragic.
What did you say?
750. $750,000. Basically, my salary for this. My salary for this podcast.
Wow.
749,000.
Yeah.
Again, you're both really close. 38 million.
Wow, it really smashed.
It's made 38 million.
Oh, I was expecting some kind of, when Morbius.
Oh, yeah. Got a re-release, it made like £5.
Yeah.
How much did the original make?
I don't have those numbers. It made
750,000.
It was profitable. It was profitable enough. It never got a sequel. It never got anything else because it didn't need one.
Yeah.
But from a re-release that earned it 38 million, the original budget back in the day was 60 million. So if it keeps going the way, it'll make its budget back again.
Yeah.
Why has it got a re-release?
Yeah,
I don't know. Leica are going
spread.
through a bit of a strange one at the moment. They have just got an exhibition out in London.
We've ran out of films. Have you just tried re-releasing films?
Have you tried making one of their films? It's really hard, apparently. They've got an exhibit at the moment. They're sort of having a resurgence currently. There's an exhibit going on in the BFI South Bank, which I'd actually quite like to go to. If you're in London, check it out. Apparently it's free, and might be. I need to confirm that. But yeah, it's got all the old props.
So anyone can go. I have to mix in with the commoners.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did you get that scarf I sent you? Yeah, Leica.
Affleck will take it.
Leica, quite literally some bloke's passion project. The guy who runs Leica Studios, which did Coraline, The Box Trolls, Cuba and the Two Strings, 3 incredible films. Mm-hmm. I think they did one more. Can't remember. His dad owns Nike. So he kind of bankrolls the whole thing. Don't know why they haven't done a new film yet. Sort it out, Leica. Inside Out 2 is currently 10th place.
Haven't seen it.
No. Don't really want
Spoilers.
to. Inside Out 2 is currently 10th place in the all-time box office takings list.
1.4 billion?
1.6
1.6
billion.
Wow, yeah.
1.6 billion. Let's just let that number settle in. It's only 14 million behind The Lion King.
Wow.
And so Disney are literally fighting with themselves.
Yeah.
And they've got the
To be fair, Disney are kind of fighting with themselves with the top 20.
They've got the majority of the top 10 of all time in terms of like box office takings. Number 2 is Avengers.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Star Wars, episode 7.
Number 4 is Avengers.
Avengers again.
Yeah.
Number 1 is still Avatar.
Avatar, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But now they kind of own that because that's Fox.
We really need to get Disney Plus.
No, you don't. They don't need any more money. There's that great thing in streaming services where it's like, oh yeah, no, like got The Lion King on it, it's free. It's like, it's not free. There's this really weird thing with streaming services. And they're like, oh yeah, no, they just give you all this content for free. And it's like, it's not free. You pay for it. You pay my wage. I work for Netflix. You pay my wage to do it. I don't give you it for free. And the other thing is, obviously, The Crow's just released, the remake.
Yeah.
It has opened to awful.
It will be on streaming by the time this podcast
Yeah, by the end of this in real time.
Yeah.
Do you find it weird that they've released that now and not like towards Halloween?
It was a really weird one to do.
Yeah.
I reckon they've just dropped it because I think the studios realise they can't make any money out of this.
Yeah.
They've opened.
Do you think it'll get swallowed by better Halloween films?
Yeah, well, maybe, but like maybe the time of release has also done it some damage. Like you're not gonna, if you're off in the summer holidays with kids, you're not gonna take them to go see The Crow, are you?
And also,
you're going to Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2 is still in cinema. Deadpool and Wolverine.
It's still
If you wanted an R-rated superhero film is
You'd
still
go to
in
that.
cinemas. I think they kind of released this because they thought it would help clear up, or if it's like if you want to see a much darker, more violent
That's
superhero
Alien.
film.
That's Romulus.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Which makes me think this is why the studio just
You
released
realise you're going to
this.
have to watch this pile of garbage.
What, The
You
Crow?
can't just watch good films. I know.
To be fair, I haven't seen the original one.
Oh, I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stacey doesn't like it.
Really?
She hates people.
She's
She's glad that.
I think it's. Wow.
You know what? No, another timely reference. We can say it.
I think it's a bit overrated, the original, but I
I-
haven't seen it in a long, long time.
Okay.
But the remake has been rumoured for years. Like, I remember this
it's
being
been about 10
rumoured.
years.
Yeah, I was going to say 10 years ago.
Films that go through this sort of production always turn out well.
Yeah.
Borderlands.
Yeah, they've always been good. It has opened up to 8.4 million
Oh, Jesus Christ.
worldwide.
Well, not even just like domestic.
Worldwide.
And what's the
The budget, I think, was about 50 mil.
Ooh.
Let me check that for you. But yeah, 9 million worldwide is abysmal, especially for something that's got like kind of a star pool as well. Like you recognise Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to make its money back. Crow, no, that's the original.
But the question you've got to ask yourself, because the original...
50 million, sorry to interrupt.
How dare the original Crow film like turned into a cult classic over time, and so maybe because cult classics don't always do well off the bat, they do well over time.
Yeah.
Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny, absolute cult classic, but I'm sure it didn't do well in the box office.
What are they up to now? Oh,
Things.
yes.
One of them is
One of them's doing well.
doing Borderlands.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but I don't even think, I think it's not even like a so bad it's good thing. Apparently it's just bad. Like a bad, again, I will watch it because I quite liked the trailer and I haven't seen something like that.
Yeah.
And I'll probably watch it, but I will not be spending money at the cinema to go and see this film.
Yeah.
But
It's your
yeah.
job now.
Oh, yes.
For the pod.
Oh, God.
For the pod.
Do it for
You
us.
should put that on a t-shirt.
Do it for the pod.
What you need to do
Oh, this is my job
Is-
now.
is get Ducky's, because I could say that because that's his real name, Ducky's Odeon pass,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I
I've
should
got
do
it. You can use his ticket.
Yeah, I should
You
do
earn
that.
too much money to be doing that. You can just pay for your own ticket.
Yeah.
I'll pay my chauffeur to take me.
Yeah.
Can't believe we were into this Airbnb just for this one podcast.
Impressive. Attached to Ben Affleck's house.
Yeah. Oh, he's coming over. He said no lights on past 9.
Okay, on with the film review.
On with the film review. And now on with the review. So this week we went back in time to see the first film that was ever made, and then we went forward a lot more to see
The second film.
film ever made, apparently.
The sequel.
The sequel, and then another sequel, and then a few more sequels later, we finally got Alien Romulus, which is the 7th, 8th film now in the franchise.
It depends how many you admit to counting.
Quite a few of them, sadly.
I get stuck after 4, so
I don't count for.
I meant counting just in general.
No, that's very true. It is the newest Alien film after Covenant, which came out about 4 years ago. No, more than that actually now. Would have been 6 or 7 years ago. I've done my notes. I've done research.
I know films.
I know all about the films.
That's why you've come here, for expert
Exactly.
opinions.
Yeah. If you need an expert opinion, by all means, go somewhere else. And so anyway, story summary of Alien Romulus is that while basically a load of people are scavenging a deep space, derelict space station called Romulus. One half it's called Romulus, the other half is called Remus. We'll get to that later. And then they decide, this is going to be really easy. We're going to steal a bunch of stuff so we can get off this terrible planet that we're on. What's that? Bloody alien. We're in trouble. That's pretty much it.
Thanks for listening.
You're very welcome. God, we're good at this. And then, yes, they encounter alien. And
What?
it's no, you would have thought. And there's sort of adventures with that. So, on a budget of 80 million, because again, you were very close.
Yeah,
You guessed 75. On a budget of 80 million so far, that's the time of recording, and it's been just over a week since it was released worldwide. It has grossed 118 million.
Oh.
So it hasn't made its budget back yet fully. It hasn't broken even. But the critic score and the audience consensus is generally quite positive.
No, really?
It is an 81% at the moment. We're using Rotten Tomatoes for this. It's got an 81%.
And spoiler, all our reviews will be based on the Rotten Tomatoes scores.
Absolutely.
If it says it's good, it's good.
Yeah, we are incredible.
Facts.
We are sheeple.
We are. We will follow and do whatever they say.
Yeah.
This podcast is sponsored by Rotten Tomatoes. Your only source. Critics.
Ooh. Tomato.
Oh, very good.
sauce.
Yeah, put that on your pizza.
Don't get it.
I don't know it. Moving on. So far, critic score 81%, and the audience score 86%. So fairly matched, fairly in agreement. Most people, and the consensus for it is honouring its nightmarish predecessors while chest bursting at the seams with new frights of its own. I'd hate when odd journalists do that. Romulus injects some fresh acidic blood into one of cinema's great horror franchises. Off the back of that, I'll start. And off the bat, I really liked it. I thought it was quite good. I think it did everything that the last few films haven't done, personally. And I'll say this as someone who actually enjoyed Covenant. I quite enjoyed Alien Covenant.
I liked Alien Covenant, just not the flute playing.
Yeah.
I'll be your fingers.
Ooh.
Turn that off.
Wait, turn it back on.
Thanks, Matt.
I thought Prometheus was quite good. If it wasn't an Alien film, I thought, yeah, and I've enjoyed the other stuff around it. I've enjoyed the other media around it. I've enjoyed Alien Isolation. I like this as a franchise. I think it's a very good franchise, and thankfully we don't get it a huge amount. So when it does come around, it either needs to really strike out the park or it's going to fail miserably. And I think at the moment it's had more misses than hits. But I think this was a big hit. And I think it did a really good swing and it did a really, really good out of the park hit. I don't think it does everything brilliantly, and we'll get to that. But in a positive sense, I thought the design of it was good. I really liked all the sets again, because this mostly was shot practically from what everything I could find the behind the scenes footage is.
Yeah, I agree with you on the look of the film. I think that's probably the thing that most blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
I just think in science fiction in general, you're always looking to have the newest technology, the most modern, futuristic kind of looking tech. But this really harked back to the original look and feel of the original Alien film. So they had their old clunky computers. I like the windscreen wipers on the ship. Like,
So there windscreen wipers on the ship.
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, like nitty gritty details. They had sprinklers in the ship that was kind of like the rain.
That was a good little
Alien
reference they did, because that was
thing.
during that ship part.
Yeah, and what you said last time about the original Alien film was that it looked grubby, and I thought the same.
Yeah, this universe is awful.
Yeah, I thought it was
The
the
planet's
same.
grubby. the
Everything's
ship's
just
grubby.
horrible. You just had like a good mop and bucket, and it's just so horrible. There's nothing nice in there at all. The cleanest thing in it is the labs.
Yeah, we'll put in a call to our cleaner, and we'll get them round.
Yeah. But yeah, just an awful just world. Like nothing. Like everything's like sort of a bit spluttery, and again, nothing works the way it's meant to. And it's like grub, just really grubbing. And we went down to a planet for, I want to say the first time in a while, but this is the first planet in the universe which has actually had an actual population.
Civilization.
And the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, Aliens has that in its own kind of way, which is they obviously go down to a planet that did have a station on it and has been overrun. But this completely goes off the planet in the first 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. But there's people that are still down there doing their lives, etc., etc. And there's that great moment when it comes up with where is it? The planet's called Jackson or something like that.
Population.
2000
days of sunlight.
0.
Did it say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Just literally, that's like her whole thing to get onto it. It's like, that's one of her big moments when she gets out of the clouds. She's like, oh, that's the sun.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, that's a sun.
I didn't even clock that, yeah. No, I also agree with you on that. I really like the world building of it, which I thought was really different to the original Alien film, where it's quite slow to start and stuff like that. But this one, like, I really like the build up, the background to the characters, because I think by this point you know most of them may not survive.
It's half the reason you buy the ticket, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to, without sounding horrible, you want to see the douchebag get minced up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's difficult, like, to care about the characters and their background, but in this one I did, and I really enjoyed their stories.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
I really
that's
enjoyed that.
See, that was one of my notes that is in the negative for this,
Oh.
which is that no, it's fine. We are allowed different opinions.
What does the Rotten Tomatoes say?
Again,
Harry,
we are.
You're the deciding vote.
I don't think this crew was very memorable.
Oh, okay.
Apart from Andy and Rain, whose name I'd forgotten until about halfway through when someone said it, I don't remember anyone else's names. I don't think this crew was very memorable because I guess as well they're not a crew in that sense. They're
just a mismatch.
They're just thrown together. The only reason the main character and Andy, who, minor spoiler, is an android, but it gets revealed very quickly that he's an android. The only reason they're both there is because Andy can open doors. That's literally why they're there. If they
both literally and
figuratively, yes. And he opens a lot of doors. Quite a lot of them. That's basically his role in this. But that's what I can understand why they're not your original Alien crew. They're not Lambert, they're not Dallas, they're not Ash. Because they don't have that camaraderie. Some of them sort of know each other, and two of them connect because they're brother and sister, and they happen to know Rain and Andy, but they're just all mishmashed together for necessity, not because they decided all to get off the world together.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of that, there's not really...
You could argue it's the same as Alien, though. It's not like that crew got on massively well, was it? They were a crew made out of necessity.
That's true. I think from my point of view, it's more that I remember them. Do you know what I mean?
They
were a bit different. There were defined roles where I feel as like in this one, the crew is just kind of... You could swap any of them out for each other and they would pretty much do the same thing. Like they all seem to know a little bit about how a ship works. They all seem to be able to... Apart from the one who pilots the ship. But then again, I think you could...
Press auto.
There's literally an autopilot. So it kind of makes her job a little bit irrelevant in this.
Oh no, I didn't even think that. I really connected with them. What
Really?
did you think?
I really enjoyed Andy and I really enjoyed Rain. I thought they were really good. It was Rain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do agree with the extras. Obviously, won't go to spoilers yet, but you were just waiting. I found you were like, they're gonna get it. When are they going to get it? That was all you're waiting on.
I want to see them die.
Oh yeah, immediately.
There are bits that are telegraphed in it as well. Like not in a kind of like, oh, this might be how they die, but it's like they're giving you their backstory, and you're looking at them you're looking at them going, "You're dead."
Coming back, coach.
Yeah. Can't walk away from this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. But the lead two, I thought were very good.
Great use of Andy. I really liked Andy. I think he was the best character in this. A really strong character.
For acting purposes, absolutely. Because can't really go into spoilers about it, but he has range, shall we say.
He's got a lot of range.
Great range.
And to me, he's a bit of an unknown character. Unknown actor. I haven't seen anything that actor has been in.
The main actor, Rain, she was Dora the Explorer, I think.
Was she?
I think
What?
so. I think
As a
so.
child?
I'm Googling this.
Yeah, I think so. So
There's a live action.
There's a live
Dora.
action one. I'm pretty sure
really?
was.
How do you know this? What are you watching in your spare time?
Oh, I have so much spare time. I'm picking the film next week. Spoilers.
Dora the Explorer. Amazing.
And all its subtle nuances.
There might be.
What's the verdict?
It's not.
It's
not. It's Isabel Merced. Who is
same
Dora.
person.
Kaylee Spaney is the lead actress in this, and the only thing I've seen her in as well was Civil War, which came out this year as well. So she has got a very good agent, and she's really good. She's very good in this. No one plays the characters badly. It's just the characters themselves.
Yeah, she doesn't try and replace Ripley either. Like she's not this kick-ass.
There's definitely moments where they do try, like the lift.
She's not as good.
She's
The
got
bit-
the essence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The essence.
I think the bit when she comes out of the lift, there is a moment when she comes out of the lift and she's got a gun, and it's like she steps back out and the lights are behind her and the wind's blowing. I was like, oh, okay, this is your Ripley moment.
Yeah, well, it's hard not to make a comparison to Ripley, though, isn't it, in an alien film?
It's not a spoiler. Ripley is not in this in any way, shape, or form. She doesn't make an appearance. She's just, at this point, she's asleep in a cryotube because this is set between Aliens 1 and 2. Yes.
20 years after 1.
Yeah.
37 years before 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a couple of years before Isolation happens as well.
Yeah, I don't know when it is in Isolation.
This takes place just before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spoiler, it's almost the same story.
I think in general, I really liked it as well. I definitely say it was a great homage to the original feel of Alien, and you mentioned Alien Isolation, the video game, right? And I felt like it also had a lot of points that resonated about Alien Isolation, which sounds funny, but the kind of look of the ship and moving through it made it feel really familiar, and I really liked that.
Do you know why it feels like Alien Isolation?
Why?
So when the director was making Don't Breathe, he was playing Alien Isolation, and whilst he was playing it, he had the realisation, he's like, the xenomorph is actually quite terrifying. And
what a great nerdy connection.
Yeah.
There is so many little references as well to the game in this. These
save points.
Yeah, if you play the game, the save points are in the film. Not as a save point, but they are emergency exit doors or something like that. There's also a really nice reference when it happens at the end of the film where you can hear the saving noise.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the sound effects.
Yeah.
There is some bits in this which you would lift off. Even the story is very similar. A person goes to a space station, it's been wiped out, there's multiple aliens on the ship, fight your way out of it.
Yeah.
And doesn't that, actually, as a thing, because I keep falling for this every fucking Alien film, and I keep falling for it, I don't understand why. It has nothing to do with the Romulus and Remus myth. It's just a name. And I did it with Covenant. And I did it with Aliens 2.
Yeah, it's one.
And Alien Resurrection. It's not called Resurrection.
Second coming of Alien.
Someone out there is going to have to put a scarf on and go, actually, it's actually about the myth of... It's going to be me. It's actually about the Romulus and Remus myth. It's like, it's not. It's just because the ship is split in half, and one half is Romulus, one half is Remus.
They didn't go near a sun.
They could have called it Salt and Pepper.
Nor did they cover themselves in wings. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
What did you think?
I just said what I think.
You need to listen, Stacey, please.
I think overall it was very good. I would say, without giving it a proper review, it's not Alien and it's not Aliens, but I would probably put it as the third.
Third best.
Yeah, it's getting a bronze.
Yeah.
I'd say. And it's really just a film it's a franchise that needed a win. It's not just the Alien films which have been bad. Alien vs Predator 2, that's one of the more recent ones. And, geez, that's terrible. And I just don't understand how you can have this franchise that, let's face it, it's got one of the best looking villains of all time. The Alien just looks so good. It's peak film, I think. And the setting of it, you could rinse and repeat the same sort of film over and over. Be more creative with the deaths, be more creative with characters, and you've got a winning formula. But they just seem to keep tripping over themselves, trying to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Number 1 and 2 has a lot of mystery around. Like you said, the space jockey. There was a lot of what is this about? And then when it explains it, it's I don't really care. It's not it wasn't interesting enough for me to care about it.
What would make the space jockey interesting for you?
If he was wearing a jockey's uniform.
Where's his horse?
Yeah, space horse.
Idiot.
I want space red rum in this.
Yeah.
Another good time reference.
It was a giant being, but...
Giant horse.
Yeah, so you get a giant... Have you seen a draft horse? They're fucking huge.
Or a moose.
Yeah, moose. Could have been a moose.
Could have been a moose.
Moose, a lot bigger than you think they are.
Yeah, fucking
Massive.
space moose.
Now that would be interesting.
Generally, they're huge.
Yeah, but you don't have to explain everything. Not everything has to be explained. You can just have things of mystery. You can just kind of go, that's that, and leave it to your imagination. It doesn't have to be like, here's the picture of what exactly happened.
And this does kind of start to like link certain films you wouldn't expect it to link either.
Yeah,
but that's spoiler territory. But yeah, I do agree with you, Harry. I think it's the third best of the franchise so far. Yeah. And I don't, but again, like the top three is night and day between the other ones. Like it's not like a close third and fourth or anything like that. It's just
I'd be interested to watch Prometheus again.
Yeah.
With fresh eyes.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen a lot of people come out now going, actually, if you go back to it, it's pretty good. And I was like, okay.
I really like Prometheus, and controversially, I would put both Prometheus and this film on the same. Like, I think of them equally as good as each other. Because there were a lot of things that I love about this film, but a lot of things that I didn't like as much, which is only for spoiler territory. So
yeah, sorry. Which I guess we'll get into then.
Yeah,
I think final. I mean, you said your piece. I've said mine. You said yours. My final thing is this: like, if it's going to be like this for space travel, defund NASA.
We don't need it.
It's literally on my note. It says, well, it's not defund. It says refund NASA because the autocorrect's on.
I want my money back, NASA.
What am I paying for as a British taxpayer for the American Space Agency?
Elon Musk, you can take your spaceship.
You can take your spaceship and fuck off.
What if he's captured an alien and it's in some sort of underground bunker?
Oh, it'll have some Twitter account by the end. Sorry, some X account by the end of the day, and it'll probably
alien X.
It'll probably post. Oh, we can't say anything. Anyway, yeah. My last
note. This podcast has already overtaken ours.
Oh, of course it has.
It can't even talk.
Yeah, defund NASA. We don't need to know. It's on my notes. There's literally, I don't need to know.
Okay, if you're listening to this podcast, please press pause. Come back to us when you've seen the film because we're going into spoilers.
Yeah. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
So Ash is in it.
Who would have thought the alien could talk? And he was a Cockney.
Harry's relative.
Rook. That's his name, isn't it?
Yeah, so spoiler.
Rook's a science android.
Yeah, big reveal in this that I didn't know was. And to be fair, they have kept quite a good lid on. I thought, but again, I've not seen any of the marketing for Alien when it was coming out, apart from one trailer and one poster. Yeah, Ash is back.
Not a cameo.
No, not a cameo. Like a full-on role in this.
Yeah, probably gets most screen time.
And it looks
out of them, a lot of them.
Fine.
It looks a bit weird.
It's sometimes, but I think hardcore fans again really I love that. I love the callback.
It gave me the vibe of when I saw Peter Cushing again in Rogue One, which is like it's good. Like you clearly put a lot of time and effort into it, and I don't blame the VFX artists, but it's going past this uncanny valley vibe where I think with the amount of practical effects that are in this, you could have maybe just done it as a puppet. And I think
I don't know if you feel the same. I feel like as the movie got on, I either adjusted to it or it. I don't know. The budget felt because the first time I saw it, it was like the mouth especially looked CG. But it wasn't that unsettling. I don't think.
No, I think I can give
it a
pass.
Not as unsettling as other things in the film.
Oh, there are some bits in this, which
the latter parts.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like just the people that die in this really get fucked over.
They do.
Like there's some horrible deaths in this. Like it's got the first bit they go into, which is when they're trying to get fuel for the cryopods because they haven't got enough fuel to do a full 9 years to get to this new planet they want to go to, which is they mention is out of Weyland-Yutani control as well, don't they? Like that's why she can't bring Andy, the android.
Yeah.
Like they don't control that planet, therefore that's a whole sort of inner conflict within it. But they step into the first ice spear and they start to defrost it, and there's just that moment where Andy looks around and it's just all of it. There's more than one alien in this, and it's just all these face huggers that have been collected and experimented on because
Science.
it comes from the first Alien as well. That's also a massive thing. The first Alien from the Nostromo is in this film and survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the new take on the face huggers because I guess they only kind of briefly appear in the other films. Like they're there.
They're an enabler. They enable the alien
Yeah.
to be in the film, right?
Yeah. But
And then they're tossed aside.
yeah, but in this one I found that actually they really contributed to some of the
Stressful.
tense moments. Yeah. The face hugger couple of scenes and the way that they actually managed to navigate through that corridor of hundreds of face huggers by twiddling with the thermostat and being quiet and stuff still puts you on edge, but it's just a new way of looking at them.
Until they get discovered in that scene, and whenever it cuts to one of the face huggers, it's real. It's practical.
Oh,
That
nice.
entire scene is practical until they start running.
Nice.
And even
I love that.
I saw a bit behind the scenes. They even had a puppet because in this they move very quickly, but they also jump because they want to try and get to a face. Some of them were like those old spring toys, so some of them were actually used as reference. They actually made a springboard alien face hugger.
Wow.
And set it off at certain points. So if you actually, apparently, if you look closer, you can see like one of them, like get activated. It just hits the wall and bounces off. It's like fuck.
Oh, Larry, you'll get a face one day.
The first takedown with a face hugger is brilliant. It's so good. It's just they try and close the doors. They're trying to get the doors closed. There's all of them coming towards them. One of them gets through, and it's the one person you don't expect to get the face hugger on her, and it just comes like out of nowhere and takes her out.
Maybe they should consider doing a line of toy merch of face huggers, pop up.
I'm not sure how many toys would suit. Like it's an 18, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's toys of it. You can get a face hugger ski mask.
What?
Have you never seen it? Oh, I'll show you it. It's very good. I really want one.
Get your face hugger cake.
I expect one for Christmas.
Absolutely.
Or I thought you were going to say that the puppets were just people's hands in gloves running around with it.
With the person attached to it as well. Just one crew member, one like some poor solitary art department member who's on very low wage. Just like, well, this is my life. Some really good moments, like some very good, dangerous moments in this as well. Like the acid tunnel, best way I can say it. The bit we're talking about, which has got her with, she just takes down a load of them, and then the gravity goes off, and then it's like, oh, you're actually there's still a threat after they're dead. Because you've got all, the acid blood takes on a really bigger role in this.
I thought that was really smart. So at the point where I'd say the film takes a turn, where they kind of take the fight to the aliens, where they're like, right, we need to get off this ship, we get some guns and let's do this sort of thing. Like, I thought it was really smart because they have the guns and they've got the gear to take them on. And Andy's like, yeah, don't shoot them though. He's like, if you shoot them, we're going to have a much worse time because of the vacuum of space.
Yeah.
And I really like the fact that the aliens are smart. So obviously they've been on this ship and wiped out the previous crew. The previous crew would have had guns, would have shot at them, and they've learnt. So when they see Rain with the gun, they don't immediately rush her to be like, oh, it's a free meal. They see her with the gun and they're like, yeah, no, I didn't like that. That Frank got annihilated.
Poor Frank. We miss him.
He's hitting the box again. Somebody help him out. He's been stuck for hours.
Help!
He's on his back.
Help me.
He can't roll over. Leave it.
If you get a face hugger on its back, can it turn over?
Good question. I think we might have seen
it's got like 58
yeah.
legs. But yeah, I really like that.
Just turns their hand up the other way.
And it also, I think it just really respects the franchise as a whole. Like the bit where the sister is banging on the door, being like, "Let me in, you've got to let me in, you've got to let me in." And at this point, Andy's turned. He's Captain Company at this point. He doesn't care about the well-being of the crew. He only cares about getting the product back to Earth. And she's like, "You've got to open up," and they're all going, "You've got to open the door, open the door." And the alien just props himself Batman style, over the ledge, and it just waits. It's just watching them.
Yeah.
And Andy's going, nah, open that door, we all die. He is baiting us to open that door.
This did seem a lot. This alien seemed a lot. The main one, I guess, which you see a lot of throughout the film. This seemed very smart.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like an animal anymore. It seemed like an actual predator. Which again, like you're saying, because even Andy's like Rook talks about it, and Andy talks about it, it's like it's hunting.
Yeah.
It is trying to lure you. It's trying to bait you. It's figuring out different weaknesses that everyone's got.
And then after about 30 seconds of that, he's like, well, they're not going to open the door, so off you come with me.
Yeah.
Pierce through the shoulder and off you come.
No, of course, Harry, but again, on what we said last time, you would never have opened the door either.
Oh, no. No. I would have filmed you getting for the pod.
You've killed me!
It's like that moment at the start when the first lady has the face hugger on her face, and Rook says, well, you'd be better off just killing her immediately and leaving.
Yes.
And they, of course, have no idea why or what's going on, so they struggle to save her, but we're all there saying, yep, just leave her.
Put her in the airlock, mate.
Yeah.
Put her in the airlock and get out.
Yeah.
She's got a great... At the moment before she dies, she's the first one to die.
Are you on about the X-ray?
X-ray, yeah.
That's cool.
I mean,
It's in the trailer.
No reason why you'd have that. Why would you take that with you? It's the whole thing is there so they can get that shot, because someone's like, that is a really cool idea.
Yeah.
And I think but from the moment that facehugger comes out of her chest, which wasn't as brutal, I thought. Like, you know, the one in the first alien is horrible.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
You see her ribs breaking.
But
relatable.
Because we mentioned this when we came out of the cinema as well, is that the time between it being a facehugger to being a fully grown alien is about, or even the time before that when it goes from it putting the egg in her to her bursting out of her, is about 10 minutes. Like, it seems to be more of a plot point here that it's...
We need aliens.
Yeah, like we need them now. Yeah. Like, it's not quick enough. And they also add a whole new bit into it, which you show the actual... What's the word I'm looking for?
Vagina.
Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, it's a word.
It is the word. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about.
You know what? The word I'm thinking of is gestation. So, with the egg vagina. Yeah.
That's a nasty way to go.
Death by vagina.
Death by vagina, yeah.
Terrible way. And if I knew anything about it. He goes in a nasty way as well. Someone just gets acid burned alive, but not in a nice quick way either.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
slow.
it's like just dripping on him. You can tell it's going through his ribs, through his wrists and his face. It's like, but he is a dickhead.
Yeah, he deserved it, yeah.
He's such a dickhead. You do look at him as a character and go like, I know you as dickhead and you're going to die.
You're not making it.
So dead.
Well, sorry to be the moaning Myrtle over here, but I do want to just highlight a couple of moans about the film. I loved it in general, and I still think it's really up there as a good film.
Can I give one moan?
Yeah. One
moan, which isn't a moan, it's more of like a how did you not? Which is they walk into the first room, which has got Rook when he's already deactivated, and they get his chip to open a security door. It's kind of a bit of a weird video game around it. Then they come back in, plug him in, because they're like, we need someone on the space station who knew what happened here. Plug him in. It's like, oh, look at that, it's Ash, but also called Rook now because he's just a different model. And he goes, the alien we got from the Nostromo, that was a big deal. Took a lot of people to take him down. Actually, if you just look up, he's right there. And they literally look at it, and it's just hanging there like some sort of, looks like some sort of like Christ on the crucifix moment. It's like, you didn't see that? You didn't see that coming in? Wouldn't that be a giant red flag of like, actually, lads?
We just thought it was a wall hanging.
It was a bit of art. Thought it was supposed to do with the Romulus myth.
I think my big issue, maybe is the wrong word, but my big gripe was really with Andy's character.
Yeah, go on, talk to me about this. How come? What was the issue?
Well, there were a couple of things. Because for me, Alien is like a breakout film for representing, representation. And, so in the original, it really represented femininity in a different way. And I just felt that Andy's character, you know, and Andy being the only black guy in the film, he was such a stereotypical idea of what a slave would be. And he becomes smarter halfway through the film. I thought, okay, great. He's evolving, as did Ripley in the first film. Like, you know, I can kind of excuse it to a bit. But then they take away his smart chip and he goes back to being Rain's slave, essentially, by the end of the film. And I just felt uncomfortable about it.
I hadn't thought about it from that perspective, if I'm honest. Yeah, I really liked Andy's character in this. I thought again, I'm going to have to quickly look up who the actual actor's name is.
He was a great actor. I just felt that he was really dumbed down a lot of the time. And I just think that was unnecessary.
Yeah, that's kind of the plot point, isn't he? That he's old, he's looked after Rain for a long time, he's a bit broken down, needs a lot of maintenance all the time. He gets a couple of hard resets, doesn't he, during this film?
Some quite horrific, one pretty horrific looking
The
hard
upgrade.
reset. Yeah,
the
jeez.
upgrade.
Oh my God, can you imagine if your phone did that as a software update?
In the middle of the night.
Yeah. Oh my God. The actor's name's David Johnson. Yeah, because otherwise I'm going to keep calling him Andy the robot.
Yeah.
I really liked his character in this. I thought I immediately had sympathy for him because he is that guy. It's completely switched the roles around, I think. You've had Ash, you've had David, you've had Bishop, all of them very capable.
The smartest man in the room sort of thing.
Always very capable, always very strong, always the person you kind of either want on your side or you don't want against you. And I feel like because he was essentially not useless, but like you said, he's old and he's broken down and he sort of just looks after Rain, but she is much more his carer. And also, I think they're going for the sort of, it's a representation of the autism spectrum, and he's on the spectrum, he needs care. Essentially, and in the nice way, not the sort of person you want in that kind of situation. Like the one person you do not want in that kind of survival situation. But I think he does such a good job, the actor, of actually like switching around to being like,
I tell you now, I would rather have the spectrum Andy on my side than when he turns.
Oh.
Because he turns into a fucking arsehole. Like, you would not want him on your crew.
No.
Are you going to open the door? Oh, I might.
Andy, please. Ben's on the other side. I don't want you to open the door.
I just have to look like I want you to open the door enough.
You can't hear what we're saying, but just make it look as though we're arguing about it.
But I think that's the point, is that he doesn't have any of his own thoughts or feelings. He's very lovable. He's very
I think that's why I liked him.
sweet.
He's just a sweet android.
And she takes it away from him and she's like, no, do you know what? That's too much independence for you. It just made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. And the second thing on the representation point, and again, it'd be interesting to hear your views on this, but when Rain is with the other guy whose name I really can't remember, and they're finding the guns in the ship, they're in the medical bay or whatever.
Yeah,
that's where you keep all guns.
Absolutely.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Just in case you have to put someone down.
Yeah.
She grabs one.
With 440 bullets.
No one's missing.
He grabs one. And she's like, like figuring out, how do I use this? And he immediately goes,
well, I played Call of Duty 98.
Yeah, I play video games, let me show you. And it's like, no, like I don't need you to explain that to me. Do you know what I mean? Just because he plays video games. It was a bit
You could have had Andy teach both of them there and then, being like, this is how it locks on, this does this does this, bish, bash, bosh. They're both idiots, but they had to be like, silly girl holding a gun, you silly girl.
But even like, you don't need to give it I felt like you didn't need to give him a reason, and I think this starts to fall into its own curse a little bit. Of like, Alien is something, as a franchise, something you don't have all the answers to, but people have started to want the answers to. And so you could have just said, he could have just left like, how do you know this? Oh, ages ago. It's like, you could have been a recruit. You could have just been a Colonial Marines recruit.
Yeah.
Also, what an assist that gun is. It's literally got auto aim on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's what you want.
That is what I want.
Yeah, why does he need to explain that to her? Just point roughly in the direction, press the button.
Yeah. Could have been that.
Just a bit mad.
I wonder if that was more for our benefit than theirs. Otherwise, Why you'd have someone who's asking like, "Oh, how does the gun work? You haven't explained it." And it's like you've literally looked at an alien come out of a space vagina. I don't know why you need this much explaining, and I for one am terrified.
The only other gripe I have is the ending of the film, because it felt like they were just trying to one up the original Alien ending where she's
1v1 me, bro.
Yeah, where she's on her own. And I just feel like you could have probably cut that section out. But someone said to me recently, there's obviously the whole pregnancy issue that gets sped up in real time and becomes a very quick alien baby man.
Oh, for the woman who's pregnant.
Yeah.
There's one of the ladies. There's one of the ship people in this who is pregnant,
which was quite an interesting new development. But that aside, someone said to me they thought that pregnancy was going to turn into an actual human who could have been linked to Aliens 2, because this is between the two films, and that could have been Newt.
I would not like that.
Would you not? I would love that connection.
Because Newt's just meant to be a girl who just happens to be caught, who just happens
and
to
then
be
gets
good at
killed
hiding.
off camera for free.
Oh yeah. Like I liked that this was just standalone. Like the space is so big. It's so big that
Hence its name.
Indeed. Yeah, it's not
Very
called
spacious.
Very space.
It's not called Cramped.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
yeah.
That's my gripes.
Okay.
Mine's much more highbrow than that.
Oh.
Yeah. You know the bit of the lift when the lift drops
Yeah.
and Andy drops down.
Yeah.
Why does he feel the need to quote Ripley, which hasn't even happened at that point?
That is true.
That was really random.
Yeah.
He just hits the like not.
It's like, stay away from her.
You bitch.
Bitch.
It's like that is not a catchphrase.
And he even looks around being like, oh, I did naughties.
Yeah.
They even pause after that to be like, "Ooh, audience."
Did you get it? Did you get the reference? It's
I didn't know.
From the other film.
I didn't know if it was funny or not because he looked so like sheepish.
Yeah.
I was like, do I laugh?
It would have been better if he just hit the floor with it and just go like, "You're an alien on Romulus."
Good
Pause. Well, I suppose he looks sheepish about it because it is established he doesn't like swearing.
Yeah.
So I think it's him saying like, "You."
It was just unnecessary. The whole thing. It was unnecessary. Also, stupid film moment, and I appreciate the film has to happen, so this has to happen.
Of course.
But when she is climbing up and she falls, the gravity stops, isn't it? She falls.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that's how she's going to die. Obviously, she won't. She's the main character. The alien catches her.
Oh yeah.
Like wraps its tail around her, and then, nice enough, puts her by the ladder. That's really nice.
That is
very convenient.
Aliens aren't all bad. We established this last time. Sometimes they want a nap. Sometimes they want to give a cuddle. You know.
You know that alien. That
Andy was not going to find out. He jumped down and shot him.
You know that one's called Big Chap.
What?
That's the name of the alien, Big Chap.
What do you mean? Who named him?
The audience.
Ridley.
Ridley in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right,
called.
Big Chap.
So that one is called Big Chap.
Okay.
Yeah, weird little insider thing.
Was that your only gripe?
There is some. She's very lucky, especially at the end when the whole cargo hold bit, and when she's like linked. I liked that bit. I thought the final fight at the end with her and the hybrids was quite
Did
good.
you like the hybrid?
I don't know how. I still to this day don't know how I feel about it. It kind of haunts my nightmares a bit.
So it was good.
Yeah, that's.
So it was
I
good
think that
from
was the
that
point of it,
perspective.
right? It's unsettling.
It
was uncanny valley, but in how it should be done.
That
Like
has.
it was unsettling to look at. I didn't like it.
That's got to be a reference to the engineers from Prometheus. It looks
It's got
exactly the same. I haven't seen anything. I've seen people start to link it. I think Fede Alvarez has actually come out and said something about it. I haven't read the article though. But yeah.
When I first saw it, I had immediate panic and thinking, "Oh my god, they're doing an Alien 4." But then,
Yeah, same. I was like, they've ruined it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then kind of got to grips with it a bit, but still deeply horrible to look at.
Oh,
Blah.
I've just thought of something. The black goo. It's the same from Prometheus. That's why it looks the same. It's the same goo because it's distilled.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's distilled.
I did.
It's distilled from.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. God,
Yes.
I'm clever. Everyone clap.
Silence.
Someone say something.
Oh, you're so clever.
Yeah. Oh, she was flirting with me. Nice. I thought it was going to look more horrific than
What,
that.
the alien baby?
Yeah, the hybrid. I thought it was going to... I was really worried when she birthed it, because I was like, oh, I really don't want this to be an alien-human hybrid, because we've tried this. And
I think he did it better than the last time he tried it.
I thought...
The Babylon.
I wanted it to look a lot more horrific, because they show you the aftermath of what happens to that rat when they gave that the serum, and it's like just looks like something like Cthulhu. But I wonder if that was because it still needs to have that sort of uncanny valley feel to it, and I also think that is a costume. For certain moments, there is when it's leaning over her and both of its arms are on the side of it. I was like, that's a puppet. Someone actually puppeteering it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think until the moment where actually they drop through the cargo hold and she's in space, which I really liked as well. I thought that was a very good final ending. Wouldn't she have gone up through the cargo hold though when it released itself?
That's not important.
All right, fair enough
then.
But yeah, I thought that was I'd gotten used to it. I think it would have been. I don't think it needed to be done, but I liked the ending, and I thought it was a very satisfying one. It's kind of a bit ambiguous because she even says, "I don't really know if we've got enough juice to get us there." Andy,
we'll see how the box office does. If this film flops,
badly.
I don't think we'll be making it.
So all that remains then is, would you give it a Nan recommendation?
Yeah, I would. I think in terms of a sci-fi film, it's one of the better ones we've had recently.
Yeah, Nan approved. Nan would love it.
Nan approved. 3 stamps. Nan is approving of it.
I think we need to make a judgment call here. The Nan approval rating, because there's 3 of us, it goes majority rules. So even if you didn't approve it, it would get Nan approval.
Yeah.
This is Nan approved.
Yeah.
This is certified Nan.
Certified Nan.
So we've been Nerds Against Normality. Thanks for hanging with us. Please follow, rate, like us. To be honest, we're desperate for reviews.
Good ones, obviously.
Yeah, only good ones.
Take your crap reviews and leave.
Send them to Ben. And
whose home address is. If you have a question, something you want us to review, or a great story from your week, please email us at nerdsagainstnormalitypod@outlook.com. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye. Bye-bye.